In this video, we're going to go over OB pre-completed notes. We have several pre-completed notes that are templates that are available for you for helping with your OB documentation. These both save time and make sure that the pertinent pregnancy-related information is in your note. So here we're going to start with a pregnant patient, and now I'm going to do a note. So I'm going to go to physician documentation here. And you'll only need to do this the first time, and I'll show you why later. And then you're going to launch a Power Note. And then once you're in Power Notes, you're going to want to select this tab that says Pre-Completed. And all of the OB notes start with the letters OB. And so as you can see here, there are several notes available for you. Why don't we start by looking at the OB Admit H&P. So I'm going to click OK here, and it's going to launch into my Power Note. And so this one is a history and physical template. The things that make it different from our regular history and physical template is that it includes the prenatal history here, the gravida and para information, the pregnancy history. There is a section where you can include GYN history. It includes their immunizations, which is great, so you can see if they have their flu and their Tdap. And then it also includes automatically the prenatal panel. And so then you would fill in the information on the physical exam, and you would fill in their history and the assessment and plan, and you have the note completed. Let's look at some of the other templates here. There's a labor template, which is very similar to the OB Admit H&P, only it has a few templated things related to labor. And there's one for a scheduled repeat C-section, which has some things in it related to when you're doing the H&Ps for your C-sections in the office. There's one that's an antepartum discharge summary, which is very similar to these, only it's a discharge summary template, and includes some prompts for some OB-related things. The other one we're going to look at in detail here is the OB clinic visit. This one is very useful for the residents because they need to send a note to the attending for co-signature. And it's also useful for your patients where you really just have too much to say to fit into that clinic visit box. And so on this patient, we've already filled out the items for their clinic visit here, and now we'll go ahead and launch into this clinic visit note. Click OK. And you can see it brings in their gestational age, their pregnancy history, their problem list, and then the today's visit information. So on today's visit, it includes all of the items that you just documented on that visit card, and it also brings in their diagnoses and orders so that you can complete more additional documentation for those patients who are very complicated and you can't complete the note in the space on the card. But then for most patients, all you'll need to do is then sign the note, and you won't have to create a whole new note for those. Let's go ahead and look at a few other templates. There's an expanded clinic visit that includes a few more things for those of you who like more details in your notes. There are a couple of fetal well-being notes for common labor and delivery triage complaints, and these are more Power Notes based notes, but are good for those simple visits. And then we have a couple of new ones for our trials of labor. There's a consult note which includes the pregnancy history. It includes their BMI and some prompts for items that you'll want to document in your consult notes. And then this one, the intrapartum checklist, is meant to be filled out when the patient shows up in labor. And it's a checklist of things that need to be considered before the patient can be a candidate for a trial of labor after C-section. And so those are the pre-completed notes. I'm going to show you one more thing here, and that is how to launch these notes easily. So what you can do is click on the notes. What you'll want to do is then add them to your favorites. And for these notes that you have added to your favorites here, what you can then do is when you go to the document section, either on the summary or the workflow pages, there'll be this little upside down triangle here. And if you click on this, those notes that you have favorited will be available, and you just click on them and it launches directly into the note. Sometimes when you favorite them, you have to log out and log back in order to see the notes that you just favorited, but they will be there the next time you log in. And that way you can stay on your workflow and then just launch into the note itself when you're ready to create the note, and it saves a whole lot of clicks for creating the note. So these are the pre-completed notes, and I hope you use them, and they save you time and help you with your OB-related documentation.